Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com, and I'm going to show you 25 email marketing tips and tricks for beginners. If you're kind of new to email marketing or you've been in it a little while and you're not sure what you're doing, this is the video for you. Okay, I'm going to go over some tips and tricks that'll help you get better conversions, get more people to open your emails, get more people to click through and read your blog post or your offers or buy stuff. I'm going to show you a few different things you may not be aware of and a few obvious things that you might have overlooked. I'm going to get you back to the basics and I'm going to get you some better results, okay? So the first one is you need to use the right email service. Obviously, there's a lot of different ones out there now because everyone's starting to realize how important email marketing is to your business. Okay, a website is essential to a business in today's world, and email marketing is how you monetize your website. It's how you collect information from people, and it's how you get customers from your traffic. And without a good email service, you're not going to be able to collect those subscribers in the first place. So 3 of them that I recommend right now, without going through all the BS of comparing them all: GetResponse, Aweber, and Infusionsoft. I would recommend GetResponse or Aweber, especially if you're starting out. If you want to go on to more bigger and better things and have more options, or if you have a company with e-commerce ties, then you want to go with Infusionsoft, but it'll be something that requires a little bit bigger budget. Okay. Another thing you need to do is make it easy to subscribe. Let me tell you something right now. The hardest thing about getting sales and everything is making it as easy as possible for your customers. Okay. The harder you make it on them, the worse your conversions are going to get. Alright, so don't make them do extra steps. Assume that they know nothing. Okay, assume that they have no idea how marketing works or any of that kind of stuff. Show them exactly step by step what to do, making them as many, or actually as few steps as possible, and have everything as simple as possible for them to just go through and subscribe right away in a matter of seconds. Alright, one thing you can do is have like an opt-in form like you see here. It has their name. You don't even have to have their name actually if you prefer not to collect names because of the slight drop in conversions. You can just add email, or you can even collect phone numbers if you're into providing services. Whatever you need to do, have like an opt-in form or a 2-step opt-in where they click a button and then the form pops up, but just make it easy for them to subscribe. Next, you need to define your audience. Obviously, collecting leads is completely pointless if you're collecting leads who are into dog breeding or food and marketing all in the same list. You know, you need to segment, you need to know who your audience is, you need to know who to target. You need to know who you're writing your blog post to, who your perfect customer would be, who would be the most likely to buy your stuff. Another thing you need to do is create a lead magnet. You know, used to in the past, people would just subscribe to an RSS feed for a blog or something, or subscribe to a newsletter, but now people want something. They want more. They want something in return because they realized when marketers started to offer free things that they could get those types of things for free in exchange for an email. So now they expect you to give them something in exchange for their email, like a trade. So this is just an example. I have 320 blog post ideas with examples for people who want to learn more about blogging. I offer this on my website. It's one of my newer resources, and this gets me leads because a lot of people want this stuff. It's quality stuff and it's going to help them. So you need to come up with something like that for your lead. Next, we always have a welcome email. You need to send an email as soon as they subscribe. And this is part of your autoresponder. Okay? All you need to do is welcome them, maybe, and then give them their lead magnet. Say, hey, welcome to the list, or whatever. here's what you ordered, or here's what you wanted. Deliver that to them, give them their download, whatever they asked for, give it to them in that first email. And from the start, you establish some goodwill with them. Next, send yourself a test email before you send a broadcast email. Okay, when you're a broadcast email, which you probably already know, is just when you send an email to your whole list. But before you send that, send a test to yourself, especially when you're creating them for your autoresponders and stuff and you haven't sent them to anyone yet. You need to make sure everything looks good, it's going to show up well, it's going to deliver into the right inbox, it's not going to be seen as spam or any of that kind of stuff. I'll go a little more into that here in a minute. But send yourself a test, double check. Things like this can save you a lot of time and actually help your conversions, because you might catch some things that you might not have seen before. Another thing, encourage subscribers to follow you on social media. This should be in the second or third of your autoresponder. If you have some kind of a welcome sequence in your autoresponder, this should be one of the emails you have in it to get them to connect with you on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever it is that you primarily use for social media connections for your brand. Get them to follow you. The more places they follow you, the more likely they are to see your content, to see your promotions, and to buy your stuff. Number 8, make sure people are able to unsubscribe, because it's actually illegal for them not to be able to unsubscribe. Okay? They have laws that say, you can't be sending these mass emails and these marketing emails without people being able to voluntarily unsubscribe. Okay? So just make sure you're not breaking the law. Don't get sued or anything. Make sure that they can unsubscribe or change their options at the bottom of the email. And this is kind of what that looks like. You see the arrow to it. It says you may unsubscribe or change your contact details at any time. I have this at the bottom of my emails. You should have them at yours. Have autoresponder based on subscribers' time. Okay, this just means that you send auto emails based on their time of signing up. So when they're signing up to your list, that means they're usually probably awake at that time of day. And it goes based off their time zone and when they subscribe. So that means that your auto responder emails will be sent at that time that they subscribe from then on, which means it's optimized for a time that they should be up, that they should be online, on their computer, on their phone, whatever it is, because that's when they signed up in the first place. That's probably a good time to be sending them emails. So just keep that in mind and check this option with your autoresponder. Next, make sure your email says from your brand, your name or your company. It looks like this. If you get an email from Instagram, it says it's from Instagram. If you get an email from me, it says it's from Justin or Justin Bryant. If you get an email from Express, it says Express. If you get an email from Walmart, it says from Walmart. Okay? Make sure they know who it's from. Don't let it say like blah 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 2315 at yahoo.com or whatever. Don't let it say something like that, because it doesn't look very professional. Another thing you can do is use scarcity in your autoresponder and your promotional emails. If they can just sign up to your stuff at any time, trust me, they won't do it. If they can buy whatever it is you're offering at a discounted price at any time, they'll put it off until they feel like it. And they may never feel like it. So if you get people to have some urgency and give them a chance to get something really cool by doing it early or by doing it within a time period, then you should take advantage of that. Like a 40% off in the next 3 days for Labor Day or something. That's just an example of how to use scarcity. Another thing you want to do is pay attention to open and click rates. Obviously, if you don't know the numbers, you don't know what's working. And if you don't know what's working, it's hard to optimize it and make more money. Good open rates, about 25% or more. You can do better as you get more experience. Click-through rates, 3 to 5% or more. Good place to start. Subject line and the quality of that subject line is what's going to determine your open rate. Of course, it also depends on who it's from. That's another big part of whether they open your email. Who it's from and what the subject line says. So don't screw up and scam your people or do anything shady that would make them not want to open any emails from you ever again. Show goodwill, create a lot of content for them that they would really like, and they will want to see your next email. They will look forward to it. So there's half of the battle won with your open rate. Next, you need to make sure your subject lines are good, and I'll go a little bit more into that here in a second. But your open rate is all based on your subject line. If your subject line isn't good, your open rate will suck. So make sure your open rate is good and if it's bad, you know where to check. You know where to improve. After these people are opening your emails, that's good. You need to make sure they're clicking through your links. Go into your content, go into your website, watching your videos, buying your products, seeing your promotional pages. If they're not clicking through at a very high percentage, if you're getting like a 1% click-through rate, that's not good. You need to do something about your email body, okay? Next, use the 80-20 rule, okay? You don't want to send them nothing but promotions. You need to send them quality content, things that they would like, things that don't require a buying decision, okay? Just keep that in mind. Send 80% value, which is blog post content. Content's just the best way to do it, really. Quotes, even stuff like that. Just stuff that people would like in your list that's related to what you're trying to sell. And then 20% of the time you can do promotions. Another thing, use short, punchy subject lines. I mentioned subject lines are extremely important because that determines your open rate and who looks at your emails. If people don't look at your emails, you don't make sales from email marketing. So short, punchy subject lines tend to do well. Okay, here's just a few of them that I put together that do really well. Okay, open up with a smiley face, important in all caps, new case study, time sensitive. You know, that's a little scarcity right there. Great news. They like to see good news. Even something negative. A lot of people like negativity for some reason, but you know, you can test that high, and then you can have pre-filled in fields that have their name automatically in there if you collect names when you collect leads. Hey, ... is pretty, you know, person to person. It's kind of a personal email approach. You might not do that with a big corporation, but you would do that maybe if you're branding yourself more than anything. And video, if you're telling them what's in it, like a video or a podcast or a photo, you can put that in parentheses at the very first of it, and you'll probably get an increase in opens. But make sure it's actually in there. Don't fool them. Another thing you can do is have email links spread throughout your email. If you're going to need links regardless. You're not going to do a lot of sales, you're not going to do a lot of anything if you don't link to your promotional pages, your sales videos, your blog posts, whatever. So these people go through here in these emails and click through to what you want them to click through. The best way to do that is to spread your links out. If you have a normal email, you have maybe 2 or 3 links. Let's say you have 3 links. You have one at the first of it, one in the middle, one at the end. Or if you have maybe an introduction to a post, you might have it at the click to read more link, and then another link later on. Here's an example of one I use that's generated when I create a new blog post. You see I have 3 links. I have one towards the front of the email, the top of the email. You have one kind of towards the middle and one at the end. So that's the best way to do that. And make sure you always have a call to action in your emails. If you don't tell people what to do next, they're not going to do anything. That's just how it is. Like I said before, assume that they know nothing and it will get you farther. Tell them to go to that link to read more. Tell them to go to this link to get their coupon. Tell them to read more here. Tell them to watch the video here. Tell them what to do next. Segment your list. You need to separate your list into different types of people based on their reactions, based on what they're reading, based on squeeze pages that they opted into. Don't put a one-size-fits-all list for everybody. Okay? You're targeting, like I taught you, you need to be targeting a certain audience, but that certain audience is also going to need to be targeted into other branches. You might be offering different ebooks. If you have an ebook on, let's say your website is about health. If you have an ebook on gaining muscle, you have an ebook on losing weight, you have an ebook on eating healthy. Okay, you get a bunch of people that are interested in health. Okay, if they're reading a blog post that's more specific to just eating, then they have a lead magnet for eating, have a sales ebook for that, for eating healthy. Don't just assume that they want to gain muscle, lose weight, and all this stuff. They might just want to eat a little better. Okay, don't assume anything. Just segment your list based on what posts they read, what they opt into, and what emails they open. Next, read emails before sending. Okay, I mentioned doing test emails. Well, just reading through them can help a lot too. You need to make sure that you don't have bad spelling, that you left out the call to action, that you don't make any sense at all in the whole email, that is completely not even in the right language. You know, just take 30 seconds to read through it. It shouldn't be a long email anyway. It won't take you long at all. Make sure everything you need in the email is in there. Make sure your links are in there. Make sure they're spread out. Make sure it looks good. Make sure it's legible. Make sure it makes sense when they read it. It's easy to comprehend. You didn't do too many gigantic words trying to outdo Bill Gates or something. And make sure they have a call to action and know what to do next. Another thing you can do is RSS emails to save time for your blog newsletter. Okay, a lot of people obviously have a blog now because blogs are one of the best ways to get subscribers for your business and get sales. It's constant, like free advertisements basically that you don't have to pay for. Of course, you go into SEO and all that, and that's for a whole other conversation, but when you're publishing all this content all the time to help your site go up in rankings and get more customers, you're going to be spending a lot of time making an email every single time you do this. So instead, the best way I learned to do it is to create a template using RSS emails to where it takes the title and makes it like the subject line. It'll take the link to the post, put it in the email for you. It'll take the first few sentences and put it in there so they can continue reading. That email I showed you a minute ago is just like that. See, you get all of this from a template. I did not write this. This is automatically generated when I created this blog post. And I got this from a very successful blogger and marketer. Okay, this stuff really works. So it takes, the first few sentences from my article. To continue reading, it goes to this link. It's automatically generated to go to the link to this article. It goes through this here. Enjoy the post. My name is Justin. All this stuff, and that is how you do that to actually, get what you need to do. When it comes to creating RSS emails, a lot of them will have it, like GetResponse and things like that. You just go up there, you put in the RSS feed, and you say how frequently you want it to do it. Maybe once a week if you want to do like a few articles in bulk in one email. I would recommend that if you publish a whole lot of blog posts, like multiple posts per day, you want to probably do that. Or if you just post one or less per day, like one every few days, maybe like most bloggers do, then you can just do it every time you publish it. When you press publish, it'll automatically send that email. That way you'll get more traffic. But RSS emails, you should set those up so you don't have to write a new email every time you publish a blog post. Decide if templates make sense for you. So templates, of course, we have, here's kind of a difference. Like the email I was showing you, mine's more personal because I'm branding myself, my website, my personal brand, things like that. I'm not trying to act like I'm a corporation because I don't have a corporation, nor do I want one. Okay? My business is mostly online based, this one in particular. And you say Udemy, which is a bigger brand, a corporation, a company, I guess would be a better word for it. they have a brand. You don't even know who started the company, but the company itself is sending emails on behalf of their company brand. So they have more of a professional, more pictures and all this fancy stuff in their emails. But if you're branding yourself more than anything, and you're just kind of a small business, you're trying to sell specific things, maybe you're a consultant, maybe you do coaching, maybe you sell your own products, things like that, you want to do just a normal text-based email, because then it looks more like a personal style, person-to-person email that you would get from a friend. Also, you need to optimize for mobile. About 50% of email is open on phones now, and obviously it's going up pretty rapidly. So it'll take over, and more people will be seeing their email on their smartphones than on their computers. So you can't afford to not have mobile optimized emails, okay? And some of them will show you a mobile preview, as you can kind of see below. But another thing you need to do is when you send those test emails, open it on your smartphone. Doing that and making sure it's legible, tinker around with the size of the font and things like that. Make sure it looks good before you send it to hundreds or thousands of subscribers. Use short and sweet copywriting. What I mean by this is just keep your sentences short and don't cram a lot into big paragraphs, and make sure that the sentences, the paragraphs, do not go off the page, especially on like a smartphone. Okay, you don't want people having to scroll with left and right on their smartphones trying to read it. They won't do it. Like I said, the easier you make it, the better conversions you get. So make it to where they can read everything quickly. Don't make your emails too long. Make the sentences short and sweet so they can just skim over it and get the idea and click on the link. Don't email too often. You don't want to send multiple emails every day. I know some people think that this is the best way to do business, but even if you're getting a lot of subscribers, you're going to annoy a big chunk of them by sending them too many emails. Okay, I recommend one a day at the most. Probably one every other day would be best. You can test different ways, but don't send multiple emails in one day unless you're just having a big sale or something that ends at midnight, or if you're having multiple reminders about a webinar that starts today. Otherwise, unless there's an urgent reminder or something for them, don't email a bunch of times in one day. Double check your links. Your links are what gets you your business. It gets you your traffic. It gets you your views on your sales videos. It gets you your customers on the sales page to be able to buy things. If you don't get your links working, you're not going to get any sales. You're not going to get much traffic from your email list. Please double check your links before sending emails. It's just a common thing you need to do. A lot of people, they try to blow through this stuff and do it too fast, and then they forget to include just the basic essentials. And last but not least, avoid triggering spam filters. Spam filters you may or may not know about, but using like 5 or 6 links in one email and very little text, using too many images, using too many all-cap words, using spammy words like make money online, or things that would imply a scam. Don't do any of that kind of stuff, because it'll trigger spam filters, and your emails will automatically go into the spam folder for your subscribers, and they will never even see your emails. I mean, do you even check your spam folder? I seriously doubt it. I don't check mine. You probably don't check yours. Nobody does. So they're not going to see your emails if it ends up there. So make sure your emails are genuine. They are playing by the rules. and you'll avoid that completely. I also encourage you to look up on Google or whatever your search engine is to figure out what spam words trigger those filters, just to make sure you're not using them. Okay, so that's it for this video. A little bit longer than I wanted, but I wanted to, spend a little time explaining each point, make sure you understood exactly what you need to do, exactly how to get past the beginning stages and get into the more advanced stages of email marketing, getting better sales, things like that. So if you learned some stuff from this video, please like it, please subscribe. I'll have more coming your way, more advanced tactics, more tactics in marketing, developing your mindset and things like that to help you be a better entrepreneur and get better results with no matter what your business is. And so liking the video would also help me out, and will just let me know that I'm putting something out that actually helps you, which is my goal here. And don't forget to leave a comment and let me know what you thought about the video, what your favorite point was, or if you want to add a point that might help other beginners in email marketing, maybe sharing past experience that you learned from. We're just trying to help everybody create a little community here on this YouTube channel and make us all better marketers and learn together. Okay, so, and on top of that, don't forget to visit us at selfmadesuccess.com, where we'll have even more resources and things like that for you. And other than that, that's about it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one, and I hope you have a great day.